Well, from Southern Ontario, it's June 27th, but I'm stockpiling these videos, so I intend to post this on the 29th. Subject matter of this vid is Global Future Council on the Future of Net Zero Living. From the WEF website, as always. Demand side mitigation. We'll come back to that. Can reduce greenhouse gas emissions, blah, blah, blah. Institutional-led action is critical in catalyzing a large-scale and durable systems transition towards sustainable living. Before we move on, the co-chairs are a bit interesting. Kate Brandt, Chief Sustainability Officer at Google. I didn't know Google had a Chief Sustainability Officer. I didn't bother researching her to the WEF, Young Global Leaders Program graduate, whatever. I mean, she's a co-chair on the Global Future Council, so enough said. This fellow is interesting. Edward Walker, Professor and Vice Chair of Sociology at UCLA. He probably does some work with the psych department, with the Devils in Davos, I would say, the sociology thing. This guy. Council Manager, Thom Almeida. Who knows if I'm pronouncing that correctly. He's the Platform Curator, Future of Consumption, the WEF, Future of Consumption. Now, demand-side mitigation focuses on changing consumer behavior, lifestyle, and consumption patterns to mitigate climate change, of course. One of the talking points, and then I'll come to some more, but this one really, I think, well, I'll read it. Reduce meat consumption and plant-based diets. Let me repeat that. Reduce meat consumption and plant-based diets. Not reduce meat consumption with plant meat diets. Let me repeat that. It does not read reduce meat consumption with plant-based diets. Reduce meat consumption and plant-based diets. Oh, excuse me, there's a cricket there. I'll just let him go. I don't want to squish him. We're going to need him to breed, right? Well, anyways, that's how my tinfoil hat reads it. The net zero living talking points, we might as well run through them quickly. Decarbonizing buildings. Okay. Electrifying everything. That's a quote. It's not me changing their wording. It's electrifying everything. Like that's going to work. Carbon capture and utilization. Tinfoil Hat says they're not planning on planting trees to later harvest for lumber to help with the urban affordability crisis. That's how my tinfoil hat interprets it. Climate resilient infrastructure. We'll just keep moving on. Sustainable lifestyles, promoting behavior changes and sustainable consumption patterns. Consumption patterns perhaps leading us back to, excuse me, another cricket. I should start saving these things and freezing them up maybe. Yeah, anyways. Consumption patterns, it goes further into detail about clothing. Well, we've seen that before, right, in the 15-minute city thing. Anyways, I digress slightly. Policy and regulation that supports transition to net zero. Policy and regulation. Well, Tinfoil Hat says that goes to the One Global Governance. Yeah, okay. Technology, innovation, and encouraging the development and deployment of new technologies that support net zero living. These talking points aim to drive action and collaboration amongst stakeholders to achieve net zero emissions and mitigate climate change. And I got ahead of myself in my notes here. Okay. Well, I did get ahead of myself. Well, forgive me. It's, these things are aggravating me. How are you liking them? I did want to summate with a couple of points. Well, anyways, my notes are a mess, and I kind of forgot what I had to say there. But I think we're going to be cold in 15-minute cities, and I got to start saving up my crickets. But I think they're still going to get to fly around, you know, from port to port where they keep their yachts. I think that's... We don't see anything that suggests otherwise, anyways.